Hello and welcome to Furball Reviews. This time we're looking at the LED Lenser P7.2. Okay, let's have a look at the box. Now I have the original P7 box here on the left and the newer P7.2 on the right. Slightly different finish to them. This is slightly taller and it has a red section around it. Now inside they are very similar. The original, you had your pouch and your torch and your lanyard, and the new one is pretty much the same. Let me get this off. Pouch again, pretty much the same as the one before. It's got Velcro and button fastener there for putting over a belt. It's very tight fitting, very snug, so it's not going to go anywhere once it's in there. And then if your instructions, the torch was here in the pouch underneath. And we have all the stuff at the top here with a picture of the P7.2. So this one is 320 lumens, up from 200 in the original, with a longer beam, less battery life though, which is to be expected because it takes the same batteries, so you're getting more power out of the same power source, so therefore it's not going to last as long. They always quote their times as 50 hours, that's down to 1 lumen, which isn't much, so most people will be changing them before it gets to that point. So let's put those away. Okay, so here is the torch itself. I've already put the included lanyard on it because it's very useful to have around your wrist so you don't accidentally drop it. It's quite snug, that, you know, I don't have big hands. If you've got chunky hands it might be a bit difficult to put on. So compared to the original, there are a few changes. The finish on here is a more sort of matte, sort of powder coated sort of feeling to it. I have my original one here. You can see it's a lot more shiny, and this means that the new version is grippier. You're less likely for it to slip out of your hand. That is very slippery compared to that. We have a new button on the end, which is big and flat compared to the original. So it's a much bigger thing to aim for with your thumb. So it's bright, so it's very obvious where it is with that bright colour. Focus system is the same, one hand. Another thing that's new is this red coating, like red colouring around the lens and on these dots around here, so when the torch is powered on you can see red around this, so if you put it face down on a table you can actually see that the torch has been left on, which you couldn't do on the original one. Now I'm going to just quickly stick the battery in it. This is the same system as the P7 original, 4 AAA batteries, 3 contacts. Let's just stick the last one of those back in, like so. Okay, so if we put this down with the original, they're both on. So if I put them on high and put them down, you can see that you can't tell when that one is on, but with the newer one you can because of the red. Very useful feature that, because you don't want to leave it on and waste your battery. The other thing that is notable is because of the wider lens, they're still the same size, but there's a much thinner edge on this one, there's more lens. Now this means that when you have it on flood, the new version has a much wider flood, and also the light is a better circle of light. It's pretty much perfect when it's on full flood, On the original you still get some rings, no dark spots really like you used to get on like mag lights, but there is definitely a difference. Let's see if I can show it now. So there's still, you can still see rings in there a bit, whereas the new one is not only brighter. I think the batteries in this original are not that new. This has got the fresh batteries, but as you can see, it's wider. The torches are being held at the same height. There's a wider flood, and it's a much better circle of light. And we're going to spot. The spot is slightly bigger on the 7.2. I assume this is just because of the lens, but it is also brighter. Both have low mode, which again, same differences. So you have boost, high, low, and off. Okay, so overall I definitely recommend the P7.2. I definitely recommend the original, but this is a marked improvement. It's lighter, it's more grippy, it looks better, I'd say, more power, a better flood beam that's wider, a better beam range on when it's on throw. And the only downside is that the batteries now don't last as long, but yeah, for most of the time low is good enough. You only need high when you need it, so you still get a good lot of life out of the 4 AAA batteries. The new coating is good, grippier. I prefer the look of it. Time will tell how well it holds up. My original P7 has taken a few knocks and held up very well, so we'll just have to see how this one compares really. Price wise, these seem to go for around the 30 to 35 quid mark in the UK. It comes in this nice gift box if you're giving it to someone as a gift. It's sort of nicely presented for that. So yeah, definitely recommended. It's pretty much the perfect size. I think nothing too bulky. Okay, well, that concludes this review. Thanks for watching.